House.
Hi, welcome to another elimination show. All the hard work on site and the stress of voting has taken its toll on surfer girl Trudy. She and Beau were disqualified this week when she paddled away out of the hothouse compound. So they're gone. Now, because of their actions, we bring into play the quitters rule. It's a simple rule that states that we have the right to bring back in the most recently voted out couple for a second chance. Last out, first in. So tonight, unbeknownst to the other couples, we're bringing back Pete and Tina.
We're back with a vengeance.
It was an emotional start to the week. The 14th couple from Adelaide, Pete and Tina, were eliminated.
Pete and Tina, please stand up. You've been laid off.
We're not just the 14th couple. We're here for the same dream they are, so...
And there's no house. And we're back in the same role.
With Pete and Tina out of their way, the remaining couples got down to some serious building.
You didn't get that, did you? You did too, you bugger.
Yes, that's look like a home, not just a framework.
Pass it on to them, Dale.
The house has come a long way in a week. Plumbing pipes, electrical layout, vacuum systems, the roof's gone up, 28 windows have been installed, and they've even chosen a toilet. The kitchen started to evolve with decisions made on appliances, bench tops, cupboards and door handles, but not everyone agreed.
We've got a demolition party happening with Heather and Kelvin later anyway.
We got exactly what we wanted. The kitchen's coming out. Very happy, it's what we chose. You and somebody listen, it's cool.
And then there was the week's biggest news. Trudy paddling away from the $2 million hothouse on her surfboard.
Okay, you've left Beau behind. How do you think he's going to feel? Was he aware that if you left, then you'd both be out of the game? Because effectively, you forfeited his position in the game.
It was a situation she could have handled a bit better for herself. I hope it works out for her, but good riddance.
Rules are rules, and Erica had the unpleasant job of breaking the news to poor Beau.
Pack your bags, I'll walk you to the gate. You come as a couple, you leave as a couple. So that was week 3 in the hothouse. Right now, our contestants are turning their minds to tonight's elimination. With Trudy out of the game, a new alliance has taken over, and in just a few hours, they'll strike. You'll never guess who they're about to lay off. There was certainly no hint of it earlier today.
Work on the front door began, but in true hothouse style, not everyone was happy with the design.
We were looking for more of one big front door, but apparently we're not going to get that. But it's still beautiful. It's better than any front door I've ever had or seen.
It's such a great home that it should have a single door. A real big West Australian Jarrah door would be great on the front. Yeah, it'd be awesome actually.
Over here, we've got the magic on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, bang! Behind the afternoon, we've got James.
Not every decision in the hothouse has to be a serious one.
Sir Hollywood. Okay, so this is the part of the show where you get to choose your door.
But the choice wasn't so easy. Matt and Sher and Simon and Jules went against the group's choice of internal doors. They wanted the Milan model.
We just think that this one has more of a modern feel, and this is a modern house than the traditional colonial style beveled door.
Next door, the others were sticking by their Balmoral decision.
It is the nicest door. Yeah, it's the most simple, and that clear lines of the home, it matches.
And majority rules, so the Balmoral is going in. Going out in 3 hours' time, another couple, but the votes aren't locked in yet, so they're free to throw a few names around. But can they be trusted?
I've always suspected that there's been a bit of a alliance, probably Amy, Christian, Nat and James, probably Chris and Sarah maybe, and Phil and Libby.
There was an alliance between myself and Amy, Nat and James and Phil and Libby.
But it's never been a case of someone coming saying, oh, we're voting for so-and-so, are you going to vote for them? It's never been like that. No one's ever said that to me, and if they did, I'd tell them to shut up their ass, really.
You have to be within an alliance. We're starting to get to a stage where you have to set alliances and you have to keep them tight.
Still to come, now that Trudy's out, she's free to dish the dirt on those alliances.
If I didn't leave the house, we would have had the numbers on that side to actually take one of them out, and that's the only thing I'm ashamed of.
And Pete and Tina get another crack at the hothouse.
We're going to hopefully this time, cross our hearts, take this house home to our children.
The couples get a break from the never-ending procession of decisions thanks to a whistle blow from Les.
Back to your vans, guys.
They're off to the vans to pack and to vote.
It's so abrupt that we have to vote now.
This has come around a little quicker than I thought. Yeah, I think it's definitely the toughest decision.
Well,
It's not the toughest for me, no.
No, I wouldn't say it's the toughest for me either. Difficult one, this one.
It's not safe by any means at all.
I'm a bit outspoken with Trudy's stuff, and it might work to my disadvantage.
Maybe we could go, so we better pack properly.
Eliminate someone. Jeez, they're dropping like flies.
I think he's taking the program or game as seriously as everybody else is, and I think it is a pretty serious thing, really. So
He's not really passionate and motivated.
People might think that if you're popular, that could be threatening to them, that you could go through and they may not. Well, no tonight, but there seemed to be a group of people that vote all the one way, and went on in it.
Yeah, so...
Chris might say to me, oh, who are you voting for? And I'll say, oh, this person. And I'll say, who are you voting for? And he goes, well, this person. Like, we don't, scheme together.
They chose to push the boundaries and put everybody's special privileges at risk, and I don't think that was a really fair thing to do.
I think out of all the votes, this will be the most important one.
We're just minutes away from elimination. Remember, each contestant can only vote for one person, but it's the couple with the highest combined score that are laid off.
We've seen strong friendships and alliances build in the last few weeks. In here, those friendships are put to the test because, in the end, only one couple will walk away with the $2 million prize. These guys need to ask themselves one question: who do they really trust? When you joined this competition, you all made a huge commitment to leave your homes and build a house. Simon and Jules, you left your kids behind. Brett, Jeff, Mark, Michelle, you left businesses behind. You have all made enormous sacrifices for the chance to win a $2 million prize. Trudy chose to leave. She couldn't stick to a commitment. She quit. The quitter's rule is we have the right to replace that couple with the last couple to leave. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete and Tina are back in the game. Because your votes are already locked in, Pete and Tina are here merely to observe. First vote, Phil, please stand up.
My vote's for Michelle. Just because she voted for me last week.
Libby?
My vote is also for Michelle, because she voted for Phil. Judging by her reason, I didn't think she knew Phil or myself very well at that stage, so that's probably why.
Mark and Michelle have 2 votes.
All right. I voted for Phil. You have a very strong character and a very strong personality, and I think that at many times you sort of cross the line from one extreme to another.
Sure, please stand up.
Christian?
I voted for Christian.
Christian and Amy also have 2 votes.
This week's been such a wonderful week for our little group, but I'm voting for Cher.
Cher, I'm sorry.
Now Matt and Sher have 2 votes.
Pete, what do you think about all this?
If you're going to cross someone's dream, you've got to at least have a legit reason, you mean? Everybody's basically got to watch themselves, and if you have any alliances, mate, then they need to go out the window and everyone's got to be in it for themselves.
Today I voted for Michelle.
I also voted for Michelle. Out of all the girls, I suppose you're the least one I've bonded with.
Mark and Michelle now have 5 votes, and Pete can't hold back any longer.
You know, how much time do you need to know somebody? You just can't say, oh, because I haven't got to know you as well as the others. Well, then that person should make time to mix the others. But, you know, obviously they're all in to play the game and they all want to win the house. But, you know...
Everyone has different personalities. No one's at this stage is voting to play a game. We're voting purely on personalities and personality conflicts. That's all it is.
Well, I disagree with you, love, because I have a big personality, mate.
Okay.
Michelle, do you think there's been any colluding going on?
Oh, well, I've got 2 votes from Phil and Libby and 2 votes from Chris and Sarah, and never been voted before, so it's just a bit unusual.
Michelle?
This week I voted for Christian.
And I voted for Libby.
Yeah, I voted for you, Phil. I feel like sometimes that they might appear disrespectful or perhaps a little bit unfair to other contestants.
And Jules agrees with her husband about Phil.
Sometimes you push the boundaries a little bit too far.
Okay, we have 3 couples left to vote. At the moment, the score is Mark and Michelle on 5, Phil and Libby on 4, Christian and Amy on 3, Matt and Cher on 2.
After the break, whose $2 million dream will be shattered tonight? It's elimination night and there are just 6 votes to go. Couple 12, Mark and Michelle, have 5. Couple 8, Phil and Libby, have 4.
Phil, I voted for you this week, mate. Kat and I are really passionate about what we're doing, even when it comes down to making a decision about toilets. I think sometimes you could be a little bit more serious about some things.
Ben's partner, Kat, agrees.
Phil, just some of your reasons last week were a bit off.
Cool.
James is up next.
I voted for Michelle. We've been neighbours since day one, and I don't think we've had an in-depth conversation.
It's now tied. Mark and Michelle have 6 votes, as do Phil and Libby.
I also voted for Michelle. You and I as individuals have gelled with other members of the group better than what we've gelled with each other.
And Amy casts the deciding vote.
Basically, I think everyone knows who they've bonded with and who they haven't bonded with. And unfortunately, Michelle.
Couple 12, Mark and Michelle, are now eliminated, while couple 8, Phil and Libby, survive to build another day.
Pleasure, mate. Phil, good luck, man. It's all right. Good luck. See you later. I'll wait later.
Mark and Michelle, you've been laid off.
Our dream is over. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck with your luck, Phil.
As couple 12 pack, reality kicks in and Michelle faces up to what's really going on in the caravan park.
It's Chris and Sarah, Amy and Christian, Nat and James, and Phil and Libby. It's always been there, ever since day one. all the reasons that we never spoke to them is just crap, because they're the ones who don't make an effort to talk to anyone else.
It's a game and we got steamrolled and, you know, live another day.
Their thoughts turn to couple 14, Pete and Tina, left behind in the hothouse without any alliances.
We didn't actually vote for them to be removed last week because they worked harder than, say, people like Phil and Libby, Christian, Amy. That group have done
Pretty much nothing.
nothing.
The work ethic is nothing, it's not part of the game. It just seems to be...
These people say they work hard, but they come down to site and as soon as no one's looking, they're off. They're back over there in their vans and sleeping. They want it handed on a silver platter to them.
And they'll probably get it the way the game's going.
The way the game's going, it will go to someone undeserving.
Yeah, I agree. But we took that risk, and that's a risk that we took. And at the end of the day, we understood that there was 14 couples and there was, 1 in 14 chance of winning. And basically, it's a shame to go be steamrolled like that when there was no real reason, I don't feel.
Hey, are you sick of these lame excuses?
I voted for you simply because I haven't formed as close a relationship with you as some of the other people.
Because, again, we haven't really spoken yet.
I suppose you're the least one I've bonded with.
Want to save a couple from elimination? Well, you can vote for the couple you think deserves to be saved from next week's elimination. Simply send an SMS text message with the number of the couple you'd like to save to 188 1110. That's 188 1110. Or log on to www.thehothouse.tv to do the same. You save them. 188 1110.
Still to come on The Hot House, you've heard of Judge Judy. Well, we've got Judge Trudy.
It's not about personalities, it's about who they think are going to be the biggest threat.
With Trudy and Beau quitting this week, couple 14, Pete and Tina, are back in the game.
I'd just like to ask, can we put aside the 14th couple, and if we can basically just start to get to know you as individuals again, that'll be really appreciated, because Pete and I want this house as much as all of you guys do for our children.
But Tina soon discovers it's going to take a lot more than a speech to win people over.
I actually went over to the group of girls and they were all just, in there having their little whisper and everything. A couple of them said, there's one thing we'd like to say, and it's bothering us. So was this when I was actually talking to you?
No, when Heather was voting for you. Yeah.
And it was a gesture Pete had made as Heather was giving me the reason why I got voted out the other day. You kind of went like that to her, behind her back. Everybody's seen it, and now that has not given us very good votes because they're all really pissed off about it.
They didn't leave gracefully. They made some interesting remarks and gestures that were disrespectful to the group and individual members of the group.
I'm really sorry about that. I didn't realise that's what happened, so...
You're not the one that needs to be sorry,
you didn't.
It's not you. No?
And other couples are apprehensive too.
Pete and Tina can't stand us.
Remember last elimination? Things got frosty, to say the least.
I vote for Pete.
Oh, is that at the Brigman?
We haven't bonded with everyone else. I've bonded with everyone else.
You haven't bonded with me?
No, I've bonded with you, but not as much.
Better go say hello to Phil, I reckon. Hey,
Hate our guts.
Hello. No, I don't hate nobody. I hate voting in my party, that one. If you haven't bonded with me, it's not my problem, mate, because, even though you're new here,
it's
you need to come to me as well, mate, because I'm open for friendship, I'm open for everything. I'm going to try to get some revenge because I was bitter when they got rid of us. With the alliance thing, it needs to be broken up, you know what I mean? And if me and Tina are only here for a day or 2 days, I'm going to vote
those people who haven't been voted, you mean? It might not win me votes, but me and Tina, we're going to go out with a bang, mate, you mean?
Speaking of alliances, we've brought back Australia's favourite surfer girl to view this week's voting and tell us what the heck's going on.
Christian and Amy are the ones who are instigating it all, and then you've got Nat and James who want to win the house more than anything. Any other couple in there, they're always the ones that are first to say I'm winning when people ask. Then there's Chris and Sarah, and then there is Libby and Phil. Well, on our side, it was Scotty and Petra, it was myself and Bo, Mark, Michelle, Ben and Kat. If I didn't leave the house, we would have had the numbers on that side to actually take one of them out, and that's the only thing I'm ashamed of, is that I would have liked to stay in to help our friends out. The difference between the two alliances is our alliance don't vote for the same, they just don't vote for each other, where their alliance stick it together and vote the same and take a couple out. It's not about what they've done that week, because realistically, Mark and Michelle is a big threat to them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take someone like Ben and Kat out next week.
If you want to save Ben and Kat or your favourite couple from next week's elimination, simply SMS their couple number to 188 1110 or go to thehothouse.tv. Tomorrow night, Ben and Pete go head-to-head as Pete and Tina split up to stay in the hothouse.
I believe a break is as good as a holiday, so I'll pick Libby.
Come on then, teens. You're on our team.
Yeah, and actually, most of these people actually voted her last elimination, mate, you know what I mean? So hopefully she has got a good mouth, she knows how to use it. I just hope she's using it for the right reasons.
Why don't we just work together and actually bring it right round?
Any reason why we're taking that off?
Yeah, because I cut it a fraction too short.
What can you do? You can't argue with women, can you, mate?
Greg, just wondering, we've had a bit of an emergency down here.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Is that